real goal right there. Batting that puck out of the air. He's over the blue line. Johnny scores! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lewis University Television Network. And a big save. Power move to the middle. Wilninski found the back of the net. Fake shot. Another shot. He goes upstairs right there. Take his team ahead by 2. Another shot. And Brian Goot scores the goal. Excellent diving play there. Oh, mama. All right, everyone, welcome to Kalen Sports in Romeoville on the Lewis University Television Network. My name is Logan Kapp. I'm joined alongside by Matt Carlson, and we're here today for some Flyers hockey. We're back in action today after their game yesterday. They were down at Johnny's Ice House West to take on the DePaul Blue Demons, and today is game 2 of that series. Matt knows a little bit more about what happened yesterday. Well, how'd that game go?
So yesterday, early on, Lewis Flyers took a deficit of 3-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game. Christian Rohr in net. There was a few reasons as to why. Not sure if there was, lack of vision, wasn't able to see, something slipped by. It happens, you move on. He ended up getting pulled after 10 minutes of that game. Sam Zaget, name we all know, comes in for the rest of the game, plays the remainder of the 50 minutes. He had 50 shots, saved all but 2. Game ended 5-0. Lewis offensively struggling a little bit yesterday once they crossed the blue line. Once they get into that offensive zone, they're struggling to find passes. They're struggling to kind of stick handle through the defense. And that's something they're going to have to work on today, is opening up your vision, really making sure if you don't have the puck, let's be there for your man with the puck. Let's create some options for him.
Absolutely, and we got the chance to attend their video session yesterday, and a big point from Jim Swoyer throughout that video session was play in the neutral zone.
Yes.
So you're talking about the offensive zone. Neutral zone is another big key point of emphasis for head coach Jim Swoyer. He wants some cleaner play in that neutral zone, wants a little bit more movement, both on the offensive side and defensive side. Obviously, the neutral zone is a space on the ice where a lot of transitions happen. It's a transition area of the game. That'll be a point to watch today as the Lewis Flyers take on the DePaul Blue Demons in game number 2. As you said, Christian Rohr had the start yesterday. Sam Zaget came in relief. Zaget will get the start again for the Flyers today. I talked to head coach Jim Swoyer about that just a couple minutes ago. So we did get that confirmed. Big man in white will be in net for the Flyers again. And the DePaul Blue Demons, they have a strong hockey team.
Yes.
We were talking about it a little bit earlier. The Flyers last year here at Lewis they got swept by the DePaul Blue Demons. They did a home-and-home split last year as well.
Yeah.
Yesterday was only the second time this season that the Flyers have been shut out.
Right.
They had a really, really tough series last weekend against Purdue Northwest.
Right.
And that was probably the strongest team that we'll see all year long, but they weren't shut out either one of those games. Jack Selman had a goal on Friday and on Saturday. He was our guest on the Lewis University Hockey Podcast as well, and he was real excited that he was able to put the puck in the back of the net. He'll be the player to watch for the Lewis Flyers today to see that continue that scoring train that he's been on the past couple weeks. But the Flyers have had a really tough schedule. I know we've talked about it a few times, but Purdue Northwest last week, DePaul Blue Demons this week.
Yeah.
Then they're going up to University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee next week.
Yeah.
And then they come back here. They're splitting the series against the Roosevelt Lakers. One will be here and one will be at Bensonville at the Edge. So they really have a tough schedule before Christmas, and they've been playing a lot of hockey, not a lot of breaks, and so they're going to be looking to bounce back today and take some momentum into their road trip next week. The Flyers are in 5th place in their division, the NCHL Orange Division. They are in 5th place for that, and so they'll be looking to kind of turn things around a little bit. But Yeah, otherwise it'll be a strong matchup today. We're looking forward to another 60 minutes of quality hockey. Hopefully they can turn it around from yesterday. You're watching Flyers hockey right here on the Lewis University Television Network. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the first period.
like to have everything perfect, even though it's hard to make it that way. So I'm gonna be messing with these cameras like crazy the next hour. It's about 3.5 hours to get lower thirds for our guests and anchors, B-roll. But if you notice here too, we have kind of 2 different sets we're working with today. This is our normal anchor desk over there, and then we'll have Allie, one of our anchors, interview our guest Angie today. There you are. You have your mic?
Yes, I am mic'd.
All right. You are mic'd or you have it? Oh, perfect.
Exams. They might have.
See that right there? That is perfect. Fantastic levels right there. We got 2 minutes, so we're just gonna go back up to the top of the script. Are there mics down? 15 seconds. Play it. Ready on both their mics, 2 and 3. Take them.
Good evening. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Focuses on recycling and redistributing chemicals are neglect.
It's always important to know too how long each clip is. So it's like 45.
Force against people who weren't a threat of law to enforcement. The investigation is ongoing. Up
Both
next,
mics.
we will have your local news. We'll be right back.
Play it. Is it playing?
Should be.
All right, mic's down.
Thanks for that.
All right.
Thanks.
Oh, the first one, we're only gonna have a minute. The first one didn't play, so I'll tell them. Ready on Allie's mic. And take it.
The mayor floor leader of Chicago.
Go ahead, Bridget. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you caught me.
Following a disturbance that ensued.
Both
Up
mics.
next, we will have your Lewis Spotlight. Then we will have your Lewis Sports Update. Stay with us.
Play it. Mic's down. Yeah, just where you were before. Make sure both of you guys are framed up right. Yeah, you're right there. You can just stay.
I am Citlali Romo. And I'm Allison Lankwitz. Have a great night.
Play it. Mic's down. All right. You guys are clear. I thought it went pretty well. I know we had a lot of issues beforehand, and it was kind of chaotic. But I mean, overall, I thought it went fine. The anchors did a good job. I did an all right job. But it looked good, though. So hopefully, everyone go check it out on the YouTube channel. Got to shout it out.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to like experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
From Oak Point, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a graduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a commuter student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I am Sidney Butler, also known as King Kwan, and I am proud to be a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an international student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm from St. Augustine, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an aviation maintenance major, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a first-year student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer. I am a general construction pre-apprentice, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an undergraduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a transfer student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a fully online student. I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm from Homer Glen, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I am an international graduate student from China. I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a women's basketball player, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
My name is William Jones. I'm glad to be a flyer for Lewis University.
I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a graduate student at Oak Brook campus, and we are Flyers.
I'm from Chicago, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a track and field athlete, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am from Brazil, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a graduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a biology and chemistry major, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers. We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers. We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
My name is Grace Duflon. I am a double major in public relations and advertising, as well as organizational communication, and I am from Delafield, Wisconsin. I was searching for a major for almost 2 years, and I'm very glad that I chose public relations because I do really enjoy talking with others, being creative, writing, designing, and all of those elements are incorporated in the major. My Lewis experience has been very hands-on. There was one class in particular, our public relations writing class, where we got to work with SEO Community Development Services, and they work to revitalize neighborhoods and work with underserved communities. And this was a full semester project where we were able to create lots of public relations and advertising materials, and we also got to work on our client services skills because we met with the owner on a weekly basis. This project gave us great real-life experience and also helped me realize that I do love the client services aspect of public relations, and I would love to do that in my career someday.
Can you help me?
Mom, Dad, we're going out.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're playing chess.
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
She's real sick, huh? Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
You are organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
I'm Allison Lankwitz, and my majors are psychology and radio, television broadcasting. My junior year, I realized that I had enough credits to pursue a minor, and it was recommended that I do radio, television broadcasting just because I had discussed what I like to do with my counselor. I realized really quickly that it was something that I wanted to do full time. I got to take advantage of having my own radio show here through WLRA, and I realized I loved talking with people. I loved communicating with people, not just studying them like in psych, but actually having conversations and being on air. And that's when I realized you can take whatever you're passionate about in your life and turn it into your living. My Lewis experience has been very impactful. I think I've grown to become more confident, and I think I've realized the ways that I was created by God, and now I'm able to change the world.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
Lewis University is full of devoted students ready to take the first step into their future. A group of hard-working and devoted students using the tools and resources provided and the experiences and opportunities gifted to them to identify their passion and explore their purpose, working endlessly to find their true calling.
Welcome back to Lewis University Television Network. Logan Kapp here. We're getting ready for Flyers hockey. That'll be going in just a couple minutes. The team will be coming out in about a minute and a half. Then we'll see the national anthem, and then we'll get right on going again. Thanks for tuning in to Lewis University's Television Network broadcast of Flyers hockey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lewis University Television Network. Logan Kapp alongside Matt Carlson for today's coverage of Flyers hockey. It is the second game in the series between the DePaul Blue Demons and Lewis Flyers. Yesterday they were down at Johnny's Ice House in Chicago. Not good for the Lewis Flyers. That one ended up by a final score of 5-0. We talked about it a little bit in the open, Matt. What were your thoughts on that game yesterday?
You know, Lewis University is going to have to do a lot of work to keep the puck away from net today. Christian Rohr had a couple unfortunate circumstances that led to 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the game yesterday. Ended up getting him pulled. Sam Zagat going into the game. They're going to have to be strong today, stick to the systems. When they stick to the systems, they're able to play well. And that's going to be what we're going to be looking for today.
In net for the Lewis Flyers, as we said in the open, Sam Zagat. Big man in net for the Lewis Flyers. He was coming off an injury last week where he was shaken up after a collision in the blue paint with the Purdue Northwest Pride. Down at the other end, Diego Condi Espinoza is in net for the Blue Demons. Sophomore from Chicago. Looking to stop all he can for the Blue Demons. Starting for the Lewis Flyers as well. They've got a new name out there. He's wearing number 88 today, Ethan Horman, member of the Lewis Flyers golf team. Making the transition in the offseason to play Flyers hockey. Here's a shot from the point. It's blocked out in front of the net by Wilninski. Picked up by Taylor, and it's sent around to the near side. Horman can't clear it out. Does squeak it by. Ernsting in on the forecheck. Condi Espinoza comes out to play the puck behind the net. Flyers coming out with speed here today. It'll be key to kind of shut down the Blue Demons. As you said in the open, Matt, they gave a quick 3 goals in the first 5-10 minutes of that hockey game yesterday, so they're looking to have a much better start today as Stump brings the puck into the zone on the far side. Battles down below the net and does end up turning that puck over. Poked up the boards by Aarons, sent back in by Ernsting. Flyers really struggled last week against a strong team in Purdue Northwest and have another strong team that they're playing today in the DePaul Blue Demons. Last year they ended up losing 14-1, the Flyers did. And a quick shot by Joe Aarons will beat Sam Zagat. And the Blue Demons are off to an early lead.
And that seemed to be a pretty off-putting goal there for Sam Zagat. I think he was expecting one of his defensemen to go in and touch the puck. And instead the shot got off and I believe right through his legs, right in the 5-hole. Didn't really seem like he was expecting that one.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they did take a penalty. The Flyers were going to go shorthanded. The referee in the corner had his arm in the air. It doesn't matter very much as Joe Aarons has taken his team up by 1. The Orland Park Junior came to the Blue Demons from the Orland Park Vikings over at Arctic Ice Arena. Very familiar with the Vikings program. Referee a lot of those hockey games as the Flyers look to bounce back here in the first period. DeGulio down low behind the net. Blue Demons sent it up to the point. Couldn't be stick down by Wankel. And so it will careen all the way back into the Blue Demon end as the Flyers come off for a line change. Zork and a whistle stopping play. Not sure what that whistle was for.
And it seems like the refs are going to come down in and talk about that. I can't tell you what that whistle was for either, Logan.
Was it?
We'll find out right here.
Maybe an incorrect icing call.
Might have been the case.
I mean, I don't even think it was close to being offsides, but looks like the linesman is in conversation with Blue Demon coach Sean Hammond. So it looks like we're going to see a face-off to the right side of Condi Espinoza in the Blue Demon end. 17:30 left to go in the first period. Blue Demons win that puck. DeGulio up the near side, kept in by Morefoot. Sent down behind the net. Chris Lee will send it around. Chris Lee leading the team in points this season. He's got 16, 7 goals on the season thus far. He's playing in the EHL, Chris Lee was, which is Tier 3 juniors. That's before he came to play hockey for the Blue Demons. Has had quite the experience here for the Blue Demons. 48 games played, 38 goals, and 66 assists. So familiar with having his name on the score sheet, Chris Lee is, as he gets that puck back and will look to begin the breakout for the Blue Demons. Backhand pass, up sends McMaster into the Flyers zone. Has it taken away by Logan Stumpf, who will go around the net, and Stumpf is sat down by Plotke as Goot can't get the puck over the blue lines. Ernsting picks up the puck and forces it over, but Plotke will send it back to Josh Maloney in his own zone. Here's Lee. Waltzes through the neutral zone. Chris Lee's over the Flyer line on his backhand. Lee in the far side corner has to turn away from a couple hits up to the point. Here's Aarons. Near side, Taylor has a shot, saved by Saget. Puck sat in the slot and is sent all the way out by the Flyers. And I think it will go far enough for an icing call. And several Flyers players will have to come back on the ice. Blue Demons in control, 15:47 left to go in period 1.
Flyers looking all but mostly put together in this game so far, connecting a lot of passes. It's a key thing I was talking about the last couple games we've been able to broadcast, is those passes, need to be connected, and it looks like they're doing a really good job of that so far. The one goal is the only misnomer on the board so far for the Lewis Flyers.
Taylor's centering pass was intercepted by Scotty Ernsting. He brings it with speed into the Blue Demon end. Dangles around one. Ernsting has the puck below the goal line, and he's ridden off the puck in the near side corner. And a whistle stops play.
I don't think too often we get to see the puck get tangled up into a ref enough to stop the play. In that case. In this case, we did.
You see a face-up, the near side face-up dot. Referee and linesman having a conversation at center ice. Looks like all has been sorted out. Omer will move in to take this face-off. Won by the Blue Demons. And Brass Penenix could not keep it out. A cross-ice pass feeds his brother, Nick. And that will send the puck into the Flyer zone. Nick will send it up to the point. A point shot is saved by Zagat. And Dan Johnson leaves it for Selman, who will scoop it up the far side wall. Couldn't even get it over the red line. Back in the Flyer zone it goes. Braden Robertson up the near side boards. Can't hit Johnson. And he will come off for a line change. Nick Brass-Penenix sent that one into the Flyer zone, and it comes all the way back into the DePaul end now. Up through the neutral zone, here comes Verlinski. Sent it right to Sam Zagat, who continued around the net. Nick Brass-Penenix kept it in on the far side. Alagna to Horman on the near side. Can't get that puck out. Nos Pelios. They turn it over. Ethan Horman is into the zone. He's all by himself. Teammates are making a line change, and he's hip checked there by Chris Lee. Welcome to the ACHA, Ethan Horman.
He tries to go into the zone all on his own. Something we see, something more of Ernsting. And he'll get hip checked right in there, and that's something he's going to learn the hard way.
Kulikowski fan on his shot. Back the other way come the Lewis Flyers. Brian Goots into the DePaul end. Stumpf in the middle has it poked away by Marco Selvaggi. And Ernsting tries to work the puck in the DePaul end, but will end up turning it over. Salvaghi leaves it for Michael. The DePaul Blue Demons can't cleanly break that puck out. Flyers clogging up the neutral zone. That was something that we heard head coach Jim Swoyer talking about, is his team's neutral zone play. Wants it to be cleaner. Scotty Ernsting is taken down, and the Flyers will see their first power play of the hockey game. Ryan Plotke will sit for 2 minutes.
And the Lewis Flyers haven't been able to, convert power plays into goals this season so far. Not something Coach Jim Swoyer was hugely concerned about. He's more concerned about, can we put together, some good plays during these moments, and make sure we're coordinated. But something they're going to want to do right now is take this spot since they're in an advantageous position.
Ryan Plotke is second in points, right behind Chris Lee on the DePaul Blue Demons. 8 goals, 7 assists on the season thus far. He leads the team in points per game, so another DePaul Blue Demon player who's real familiar with having his name on the score sheet. Averages 1.15 points per game. He was playing AAA hockey before he came to play hockey for DePaul University. 30 seconds gone on the Flyers power play. Here comes Logan Stumpf to Logan Pickens on the far side. Pushing back entry. Alagna is shut down there. Here's Braden Ricci. He's into the Paul end. Ricci on his forehand, turns and fires, and that one's wide of the net. Sent around by Dan Johnson, who took contact up high. Not sure if his helmet rode up or what, but he will come off for a line change. Caden Ulmer over the red line, will skin it into the DePaul end. Ulmer on his forehand is forced into the corner there by Sadowski. Around behind, here's Alagna on the point. Ricci with a one-timer, hit the post! Somehow that puck stayed out of the net. Braden Ricci, first quality scoring chance for the Lewis Flyers. Another shot. Could not be cleanly handled by Condi Espinoza, but he will end up diving on top of that one. Flyers with an offensive surge. 30 seconds left on their power play. Head coach Jim Swoyer not happy on the bench.
Flyers looking a lot like the team that we were seeing earlier on in the season. They're able to take advantage of these offensive chances here. And what's going on here?
Jim Swoyer, I think, thought that puck went in the back of the net. It bounced around real funny in behind Condi Espinoza. To me, it looked like it hit the post. Granted, we didn't hear the post noise.
Right, which is why one would assume that it is a goal. Obviously, no way to review that in ACHA hockey at the moment.
To rewind the broadcast and see
if
we can see a slow-mo replay on that one.
Half the bench looking up here. Hey, can we get a replay on that?
Ernsting with the drive from the point. It's punched into the corner by Condi Espinoza. A battle ensues in front of the net with Dan Johnson. He's tangled up with Sadowski in front. Another shot from Logan Stumpf is turned aside by Condi Espinoza. Kept it on the point. Ernsting will wind up. Dekes out. Shot is wide of the net. Dan Johnson really given the business there by Jake Sadowski. No call. Back the other way come the DePaul Blue Demons. Centering pass is sticked into the corner by Sam Zagat. Dan Johnson very frustrated coming off the ice. I mean, really WWE-style wrestling match in the slot area. Really surprised there wasn't a penalty call.
Yeah, and the ref's looking at him, shaking his head during that play, too, saying, oh, if you're not going to get the call for that, it's a little surprising for me.
Zork's back into the Lewis end. Flyers playing physical here early in the first.
And as we talk about, that's a huge point of interest for the Lewis Flyers. When they're able to play clean physical hockey, these guys can get a good game off.
DePaul will reset. The penalty is over. We're playing 5-on-5 hockey now. Here's Braden Ricci over the line. Will fire one in and out of the glove of Condi Espinoza, and he will end up soaking that one up. 10:02 left to go in period one. DePaul Blue Demons up 1-0.
Espinoza is struggling to keep that puck retained within himself in the glove. 9 times out of 10, I've seen that puck re-enter out into the blue paint, and if the Flyers can capitalize on that, they may be able to get a quick goal close in with a couple feet.
Puck sat there. Logan Stump fires, and that one's fought off by Condi Espinoza as the DePaul Blue Demons loft that one out. Flyers playing a lot of hockey right now in the Blue Demon end.
And what we know about this Lewis Flyers team, the longer they spend, and this is true about anybody, but especially we've seen with the Lewis Flyers, if they're able to spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, they really love to tire out their opponent defensively. They like to pass around a lot once they're able to get in that rhythm. And in a matter of time, they'll end up scoring a goal if they can keep this pace up.
Raspaninix couldn't send that one out. Sent around on the far side. Ricci will step up and keep that one in. Battles with Pepper, who will force it over the Blue Demon line. Ricci turns around and fires that one back into the Blue Demon end. Michael Raspaninix will quarterback this breakout. Up comes Martino. Splits the defenseman. Sat down. Martino had a drive. That was turned aside by Sam Zagat with speed. Here comes Ernsting. Over the DePaul line, Goot to Stump on the far side, turns, fires, and that one's wide of the net. Caden Peter keeping that one in on the point will send that one on goal. And the Lewis Flyers will commence a line change. Chris Lee behind the net tries a home run stretch pass up to Liam Pepper, but that was just out of his reach. And so the Flyers will get a chance to go back the other way. Wilninski tried to go across ice. It caught a stick and deflected up into the rafters here at Camlin.
Like you say, took the 9-iron out.
And that will cause a stoppage of play. 8:43 left to go in the first period.
Flyers hammering down on this DePaul defense. I think the DePaul defense is a little caught out here. They got that goal early on, maybe from some kind of a fluke play, but Lewis Flyers really looking strong.
Bouncing back right after that early DePaul Blue Demon tally. Here's Horman into the zone, centering pass, and that one was turned aside. Alex Fronte had a grade A chance right there. The two newcomers soaring for the Lewis Flyers. Here's Fronte, is able to somehow glove that one down and send it in behind the net. Ethan Horman is in on the forecheck. Here comes Chris Lee. Over the Flyer line on his forehand. Lee has his stick lifted there by Caden Ulmer. Excellent defensive play. Lee still has the puck. Will cycle it around in the Flyer zone. Fires, and that one's wide of the net. Rebound. Went off the back wall and deflected over to Joe Aarons, who just got his second tally of the hockey game.
And it looked like Sam Zagat had struggled trying to get back down into position there. That puck ricochets so hard off the backboard that it just comes right back down to his stick. And he's just not ready and in position there. There's not a whole lot you can do about something like that.
Joe Aarons playing for the Orland Park Vikings, maybe coming here to Camlin to play the Huskies in that Central States matchup. Maybe he's familiar with how springy those boards are back in behind the net. I'm sure he is. The Orland Park native, I'm sure, has skated here more than a couple times. And so obviously familiar with how that puck is going to bounce off the wall as the Flyers look to rebound with 7 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first period. Nick Braspaninix couldn't get that one into the Flyers zone. Centering pass to Nose Pelias, who will send one on net, and it's handled by Zagat, and he will hold on.
The Lewis Flyers still looking like they've got a lot of energy left in them, something that we've seen over the last few games, really this whole season, is once they get a few goals scored on them, you start to see them lose a lot of that gusto they come out of the box with. and they're able to retain that so far.
Zork could not win that face-off. Sent up the near side. Boards by Caden Peter. Here comes Ethan Horman on the DePaul Blue Demons zone. Will backhand that one in, and it's sticked aside by Condi Espinoza. Up the near side boards this time. Caden Peters engaged in battle and is able to send that one back down low. And look at this, Ethan Horman throwing the body around a little bit.
I think Ethan Horman's learning pretty quickly here. You got to be physical to play in the ACHA.
Hockey is a contact sport. Just a little bit different than golf. Sent around the net, Plotke on the far side to the middle. Backhanded down low by Michael Brass-Peninix. Ethan Horman, another great shift. He does turn that puck over and come off for a line change, though. In behind the net, here's Liam Pepper to the point. Brass-Peninix sent to Peters, who will send that one down low. Comes back up the near side. Goot sent across to Ernsting. He's into the DePaul end. Scotty Ernsting has the puck down below the DePaul Blue Demon net. On his backhand, Ernsting still got it. Leaves it for Tyler Morfoot, who walks in, fires, and that one is saved by Condi Espinoza. Cleared all the way out by the Blue Demons. Flyers seem to have a little bit more confidence, playing better hockey than we saw last week against Purdue Northwest. Even though they're down 2-0, definitely seem like they are more put together, at least a little bit here in the first period. 5:16 left to go in period one.
And I'd have a hard time disagreeing with you on that statement. The Flyers do look a lot more put together, defensively. They're starting to list sticks even when they're behind on a guy. What can you do to stop the offense from scoring? And they're finally starting to implement some things that we haven't really seen from them before this season.
Taylor will send it across off the feed from Maloney. In over the line is Nathan Zork, but he was offside. We'll see a face-off now out in front of the Flyer fan section here at Camlin with 5:07 left to go in period one. Martirano could not win that face-off, sent back into the Flyer zone. Braden Robertson. Saucer pass, couldn't find Dan Johnson. Careens back to Lee in the neutral zone. Across to Plotke. Back to Taylor, who has a drive. And it's saved by Zagat. Sliding from left to right to make that stop. 4:48 left to go in the first. Face-off to Zagat's right wing side. One back to Taylor, who had his shot blocked. Lee across to Plotke on the far side. That shot hit traffic out in front. Careens into the far side corner. Plotke tangled up with Caden Ulmer. Martirano swoops in and gets it. Plotke on the point, backing up, has a shot, and it's patted into the corner by Zagat. Rebound to the Blue Demons. Here's Plotke. Centering pass was right in the skate of Martirano. And he's back to get it now in the neutral zone, battling against Jack Selman. Chris Lee will bring it up. Into the zone is Plotke. Tries to leave it for the late man. Up comes Ernsting. He's by himself. Teammates are making a line change. Will walk in and try a shot, but he's sat down there, put right on his wallet by Joe Aarons, who's playing on both sides of the puck this hockey game. Here's Brian Goot, spin around centering pass, couldn't find Ernsting. Deflects up to Alagna on the point, glove down to Ernsting, centering pass. Could not find Brian Goot, who was right there ready for it. Back the other way comes the Blue Demons. Plotke into the zone, centering pass was tangled up with Logan Pickens. That was Anthony Martirano. And Pickens prevented a high-quality scoring chance. Centering pass, sat down there by Brian Goot. Whoever that is, that looks like Ryan Plotke, looks around, wanted a penalty call, and is not going to get it.
That's just a case of a big hit by Brian Goot. He's a big guy, and he's going to throw his weight around if you give him the chance.
Alagna back in his own zone. We'll wait for his team to change, and Fronte will send it in behind the net. Michael Brass-Peninix will send it up the far side. Kept in there on the point by Fronte again. Rung up the near side glass. Stick down by Robertson, who's put right on his wallet by Brass-Peninix. Far side, Michael Brass-Peninix into the Flyers zone and is pushed off the puck by Braden Robertson, and it will skittle on over to Sam Zagat, who will cover up. 2:33 left to go in period one. Flyers down 2-0.
Robertson doing a great job tangling up his man in front of net there. If he's not doing that, that may have been a quality scoring chance for the Blue Demons.
One by DePaul. Sent down low by Nos Pelios, and it will come back into DePaul's end. Up the far side, boards deflected in by Nick Brass-Peninix. And it's Ricci will send it around his own net. Trying to find Robertson on the near side, but it was sticked up into the protective netting there by A.J. Nos Pelios, and that will cause a stoppage of play. .6'1" junior from Glenview went to Glenbrook South. Played high school hockey for the Titans. Wants to make his presence felt here at Camlin today. Back in his own zone, Peter across to Alagna, comes back to him. He will have some time, decides to slow it down, go back to Alagna on the far side. Minute 51 left to go in the first period. Here comes Ulmer with speed over the Blue Demon line. Turns, fires, and that one's kicked into the corner with a big right pad save from Condi Espinoza. Up the far side boards it goes. Liam Pepper leaves it in the middle. Here's DeGulio. Centering pass was just over the stick of Nathan Zork, who is put right on the boards by Ben Alagna, and he is down for the count. And Alagna will be going to the box for boarding.
That was a huge hit by Ben Alagna. I mean, I'm not really sure. That was just a hard hit. You kind of caught him on his back there. Not something you necessarily want to see. Just trying to keep the puck away from net, and got a little bit too frisky, I think, in terms of physicality. Alagna, of course, not happy with that call. And now we have a man down on the ice.
I did not see it, but anytime you see any shade of the numbers on the back of the jersey, you got to lay off the body contact. For a while there in Illinois, they had a lot of the high school teams and a lot of the youth teams in which they were under the body checking category, meaning body checking was legal. They had a big stop sign right in the middle of the back of their jersey. If you could see that stop sign,
I remember that.
You got to pull off that body contact.
And this is interesting to see. I think he caught him just late. It was just a little bit too late. And, of course, he was coming in fast. I mean, it's hard to say that, he was really going to be able to stop himself. He was committed to that hit a while before, and it just caught him barely back and on his back there in the numbers. And I think the back-checking call is the right call.
The
boarding call. My bad. My apologies. Boarding call is the right call.
Well, been a referee for a long time, and 11 years of wearing the black and white stripes, and the way that they describe boarding to us, Matt, is if you look at a play, and most of the time it's pretty obvious for those who have been around the game, if you look at a play and you say, oh no, that's boarding. When that hit happens, you watch it. They're in that danger zone. They might be 4 or 5 feet away from the boards. You have physical contact. They go flying into the boards, and you look at that play and say, oh my, that's boarding. That's when you call that boarding penalty. So even if it was a clean hit, sometimes if you're in that, like I said, danger zone, 4 or 5 feet away from the boards, whether it was from behind or not, I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and watch the replay, but if they go into the boards hard, then it could be called a boarding call, and that's what was called on Benalagna. He's lucky it was only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
ACHA hockey, the referees have the option for the 2-minute minor for boarding. Youth hockey, USA hockey, that is an automatic 2-minute minor, 10-minute misconduct penalty. But ACHA Division II hockey using the NCAA rule book, so that's just like you would see it watching an NHL hockey game. 2 minutes for boarding. DePaul Blue Demons to the power play. Here's Maloney. Near side to Chris Lee. Back to Maloney on the top of the key. Far side. Walks in is Martin Reno. And that hit the post. It hit 2 posts out in front of the net, in fact. Chris Lee finds the rebound. Tried a centering pass. Went off the skate of Omer to Maloney on the point. He will, in control, send it over to Chris Lee. 3-man weave on the Flyers blue line. Here's Josh Maloney, walks, fires, and that one is kicked into the corner by Zagat. 48 seconds left to go in the first period. Chris Lee on the point. Smooth as silk will move that puck down below the goal line. Lee has it, centering pass, far side, shot by Anthony Martirano is handled by Sam Zagat, and he will hold on. 36.5 seconds left in period number 1.
Lewis Flyers doing a good job keeping the Blue Demons to the outside. They've been scored a lot within 5 feet of the net, and that's something that, they've been talking about a lot, is keeping teams like the Blue Demons to the outside near the blue line, and they've been doing a great job of that on this penalty kill.
Chris Lee had a nice drag shot there, and it was turned into the corner by Zagat. Picked up by Josh Taylor behind the net to Lee. Shot! Lee, I think it was saved by Zagat. Looked like it hit him. Another point shot is blocked out in front by Sam Warner. 10 seconds left to go. Here's Maloney. Lee on the near side. Centering pass is deflected out at the top of the crease by Plotke. Another shot is saved by Zagat. Plotke was there sniffing around. Zagat pounces on top of that one, and he was cleared out by Braden Robertson. Either way, the horn has sounded to take us into that first intermission. Big drive there at the end of the period for the DePaul Blue Demons, who were in control for a lot of that. However, I felt like the Lewis Flyers had a good amount of scoring opportunities as well. What were your thoughts on the first match?
I think the Lewis Flyers have a lot of strong points. They're connecting passes. They're looking a lot more collected as a team. The 2 goals that were scored against them wasn't a whole lot they could do about them. First one cut to get off guard. Second one, not a whole lot you could do either. The Lewis Flyers are putting together a great game. No reason they shouldn't be able to score a few and get back into this game in the second period.
Well, we're gonna see what period 2 has to bring in just about 13 minutes. You're watching Flyers hockey right here on the Lewis University Television Network.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
You're looking for your opportunity to make a difference that impacts your world for the better. And no one is better equipped to help you do that than Lewis University. With 37 graduate degree and certificate programs, we can help you develop the skills required to maximize your performance and value in today's workforce. Classes meet in 8-week sessions, 100% online, on campus, or a mix of both designed for working adults. Your time is now. Transform your skills and potential with a graduate degree from Lewis University.
going out.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're playing chess.
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
She's real sick, huh? Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
You are organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie.
Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
What are you gonna wish for, Grandpa?
Don't just wish you had taken care of your hearing loss. Take action today. Visit actnow.hearing.com to learn the signs and find an ASHA-certified audiologist near you.
Today is a career event, a career day event that I've been fortunate enough at putting on for several years. And through that time, we've grown exponentially in regard to the number of agencies who have come here to provide students with information about job opportunities, internship opportunities. When they come in, they'll sit down right away first and choose a table that they want to sit at. Every 10 minutes, we have somebody ringing a bell and announcing the change tables. They go from table to table to meet with everybody, so they get an opportunity to have a conversation with everybody.
As a Lewis student, seeing all the different agencies, it's a little bit intimidating, but now from the other side, it's very rewarding. I feel it is a privilege speaking to students, especially here.
As a student, I only went to one, but I wish I went to more. I think it would have been service to me to have been able to see all the different agencies and the opportunities that are offered. When I left Lewis, I really only had my eyes set on being a police officer. It wasn't until I was a police officer that I learned about special agent positions. Had I gone to more of these career fairs, I would have seen all of these opportunities that there are.
This is the story of Lewis University, located 35 miles southwest of Chicago. Founded in 1932 with a focus on aviation technology, Lewis is a Catholic and Lasallian university that welcomes students of all faiths and cultures. Your understanding of diverse cultures will help you to succeed in the global workplace. At Lewis, our faculty walk side by side with our students, helping them apply what they learn in the classroom to real life. In law enforcement, nursing, aviation, business, the sciences, teaching, and the arts, all making a difference. Our students have purpose in learning. They're problem solvers, thinkers, doers. Upon graduation, Lewis students are prepared to create better communities, communities that universally welcome, support, and encourage all to create a better world. Now it is your turn. How will you impact our world? Apply at lewisu.edu.
Every 2 seconds, a hospital patient needs a life-saving blood transfusion. Every 2 seconds, there's an urgent need for blood donation. Every second matters. In an emergency, doctors may face impossible choices. Who gets blood and who must wait? Will you roll up a sleeve and give? Because of you, life doesn't stop. Donate blood. Make your appointment today at Vitalant.org.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11 survivor. For 13 hours, I was buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. I was rescued thanks to brave people who were willing to put their own lives on the line to save mine. For 9/11 this year, a National Day of Service, I'll be paying it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
Providing students with the skills and qualities needed to be successful, the Lewis University Radio and Television Broadcasting Department prepares students for high-level performance in their endeavors. The broadcasting professor supplies students with numerous chances outside of the classroom to sharpen their tools and get a taste of the real world of broadcasting.
I just thought it was really interesting and I want to go into sports media. Everyone's really welcoming, even if you have no experience. It's like you will be uncomfortable at the beginning, like I was, but once you start into it, you'll be more comfortable as your teachers explain everything.
Technical directing, editing, producing, and anchoring are just some of the countless broadcasting roles students can get involved with during their first week in the program. From being on the air to producing behind the scenes, students will acquire valuable life skills in addition to what they learned in broadcasting. All majors are welcome, and to get started, visit lewisu.edu/admissions so you can make a difference and take your talents to the next level.
alongside Matt Carlson.
We're with Bridget,
After one period
whose
of hockey,
husband
the
won't
Blue
be home
Demons
for months,
lead the
and whose
Lewis
daughter
Flyers
is
by a
due
score
any
of
day.
2-0. What were your thoughts on the first period?
We're with
Lewis
Mike.
Flyers are able to put together a
leaving
good
home
game so far.
protect his
The first
family.
goal wasn't really much they
And
could do
yours.
about that. To get caught a little bit off guard. The Lewis Flyers connecting a lot of
We're
those
with all
passes.
service
They're
members
able
and their
to
families
get
who
into the
need
offensive
community,
zone and pass around, tire
connection,
out the Blue
and
Demons
maybe
defense. And
a bit of
especially
magic.
note, I'd like to say the
you
new
with them?
rookie Ethan Horman
Learn more
putting
at
together a
USO.org
solid
today.
couple shifts here for the
We're
Lewis
with Liam
Flyers in the first
after
period,
his fourth
getting his
military
body out
move.
there, taking some shots, making some really
Being new
clean,
is
nice
starting
passes.
to get
And if
old.
the Flyers can capitalize
We're
on
with
him
Tara.
being in their lineup, I think
During
we
the
could see
holidays,
a good result
where she misses
offensively.
home
Yeah, I'm
the
not
most.
sure how he played yesterday. Didn't get the chance to talk to Jim Swire
We're
about
with
that,
all
but
service
he's
members and their
defying
families
all expectations
who need
already
connection,
here earlier. He's
comfort,
playing on a line with
and a
Alex
home away
Fronte,
from
the other
home.
newcomer of the
Are you
Lewis
with them?
Flyers, who
Learn
joined the
more
team
at
later this season.
USO.org
But they're
today.
really starting to fill out that bench a little bit as well.
You're
I
looking
think
for your
they're really
opportunity
starting
to
pick
make
up
a
some more
difference
people.
that
You
impacts
take a
your
look at
world for
DePaul's
the better.
roster, then you take
And
a
no
look
one
at
is better
Lewis's
equipped
roster.
to help you
And
do
even
that
Purdue
than
Northwest
Lewis
last week
University.
at 37
With
people
37
rostered.
graduate
Right.
degree and
So they're really
certificate
trying to build
programs,
out that
we can
roster
help
a
you
little bit.
develop the
Starting to
skills
fill out a
required to
little bit.
maximize your
So,
performance
but
and
as we
value
get
in
ready
today's
for period
workforce.
number
Classes
one,
meet in
we
8-week
will,
sessions,
get right on
100%
going here.
online, on
Period number
campus,
two,
or a mix
excuse
of
me.
both
There we
designed
go.
for working adults.
So,
Your time
but,
is
the
now.
teams have
Transform
retaken the
your
ice, so
skills
we
and
can go over
potential with
to
the graduate degree from
the
Lewis
ice
University.
now and get ready for the period. Paul Blue Demons to our left this time. Lewis Flyers to the right.
Naomi?
The Blue Demons will have 32 seconds of power play time at the start of period two after Ben Alagna took that late period boarding penalty. Got a chance to talk to Ben's dad, as a matter of fact, in this intermission, and he was asking my thoughts on that
Wait,
penalty,
okay, Mom.
which unfortunately I was unable to see.
She's real
But
sick, huh?
from what he said, the hit looked clean.
Hey,
So
Drew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor.
How do you do it? Easy.
So that penalty has expired. 5-on-5 hockey. We're playing in the Lewis end.
More donors.
Brian
means
Goot,
more
the Flyers captain, will stick
Sign
that
up
one
at
up the near side
organdonor.com.
boards. Back in his own zone to get it is Chris Lee.
What do you think you're doing,
He tries
Kevin?
to loft it out and
was
hit a
just gonna
stick.
drive
No
home.
icing on this
There are
play.
several warning signs
Logan
present
Pickens has
that
to be
you
careful.
shouldn't be driving.
Got Ryan
Like hearing
Plotkin sniffing
voices?
around.
Like your text to emoji ratio.
Miscommunication.
Oh, man.
Martirano
Selfies.
will start it back.
We all have
Plotkin in the
warning
zone
signs
will
that let
send
us
it
know
around the
that we're
Flyers
probably
net.
not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig.
Picked up
Come
by
on, man, let's put it right
Ernst with
home.
speed through the neutral zone. Hopped away from him right to Chris Lee. Back the other way comes Josh Taylor into the Flyers zone. Taylor on his forehand turn, shoots, and that's kicked into the corner with a big right pad save there from Sams again. Ernsting will reverse it in behind.
What are you gonna wish for, Grandpa?
Don't
And
just
the Flyers
wish you had
could
taken
not
care of
clear
your
it
hearing
out.
loss.
Lee
Take
kept it in
action
on the
today.
point, battles
Visit
with
Act
Goot.
Now on
Sent down low in the
hearing.com to
far
learn the
side
signs
corner.
and find an ASHA certified audiologist near you.
Lee. Near side,
Today
Michael
is a
Braspinix.
career event, a
Pressured
career
by
day event that
Wilninski.
I've
Forces
been
the puck down behind the
fortunate
Flyers
up putting on for
net.
several years.
To Nos
And
Pelias.
through that time, we've grown
the point.
exponentially in regard
Ryan
to
Plotkin
the
near
number
side.
of agencies who have come
Braspinix.
here to
Plotkin.
provide students with information
Walks in, shoots, big
about
block there
job
by
opportunities,
Brian
internship
Goot.
opportunities.
Careens
When
down
they come
low.
in, they'll sit down right
Berlinski
away first
sent
and
it
choose
down.
a table that
It's
they want to
continued
sit
around
at.
by A.J.
Every
Nos
10 minutes, we have somebody ringing a bell and announcing
And
the
finally,
change tables.
Wilninski's able
They
to
go
skate
from
it
table
out.
to table to meet with everybody,
Michael
so they get an
Braspinix is taken
opportunity
down on
to
the
have a
red
conversation with
line.
everybody.
Looks like he collided with Brian
As a
Goot.
Lewis student,
And
seeing all the
laboring,
different
Michael
agencies,
Braspinix
it's a little
will
bit
come off the
intimidating.
ice.
But now, from the other side,
McDonald's
it's
fresh off the
very
bench. Couldn't
rewarding.
Force
I
that one
feel
into the
it is a
DePaul
privilege
end.
speaking to
Back in his own zone
students,
is Logan
especially
Pickens
here.
across. Couldn't handle that pass.
As a
Nick
student, I only
Braspinix
went to
is
one,
in.
but, I
Shot.
wish I went to
Saved
more.
by Zagata.
I think it would have
Rebound
been
set there.
service to
And his
me
pushed into the
to
near
have
side
been able
corner.
to see all the different
Raspininic
agencies
far
and the
side,
opportunities that
centering
are
pass
offered.
there
When I
by
left
Josh
Lewis,
Maloney.
I really only
To
had
Noah
my eyes
Vale.
set on being a police
Ahrens
officer.
has
It
another
wasn't until I
centering
was a police
pass.
officer that I learned
And
about special
Verlinski
agent
couldn't get
positions.
Wood on it.
had I gone to
Near
more of
side
these career
Aarons.
fairs, I would have seen
Brass Paninix
all of
trying to
these
send it across. It's
opportunities that
set
there
up by
are.
Ethan Horman, newcomer on the Flyers. Shot is saved by Condi Espinoza. Point shot by Robertson was deflected by someone out in front of the net on the Blue Demons team. And Condi Espinoza had to make another save. Ethan Horman, again, showing what he's got here in the first game that we're seeing him for the Lewis Flyers. And we got a penalty coming up to the DePaul Blue Demons. Cross-checking is the call made by the referee at center ice. The Flyers will see another power play.
And Ethan Horman was actually the one who ended up deflecting that shot earlier that Robertson took from the point. And that was almost a sneaky little deflection, just trickled wide of the net. And the Flyers are going to be able to set up on the power play here for the second time this game. As Cade Normal set up, they were unsuccessful in their first attempt trying to score a goal. They're going to come back and see what they can do this time.
35 miles southwest of Chicago. Founded in 1932 with a focus on aviation technology, Lewis is a Catholic and LaSallian University that welcomes students of all faiths and cultures. Your understanding of diverse cultures will help you to succeed in the global workplace. At Lewis, our faculty walk side by side with our students, helping them apply what they learn in the classroom to real life. In law enforcement, nursing, aviation, business, the sciences, teaching, and the arts, all making a difference.
Anthony
Our students
Martorano is
have
into the
purpose
Flyer
in
zone
learning.
on the penalty
They are
kill, has a couple
problem
Flyers
solvers,
players on him.
thinkers, doers.
And with speed, Alex
Upon
Fronte will pick up
graduation,
the puck.
Lewis students are prepared
over
to
the Blue
create
Demon
better
line.
communities.
Lost
Communities
his
that
handle, and that
universally
allows Chris
welcome,
Lee to clear it all the way
support,
down.
and encourage all to create a better
Ricci
world.
was coming off for a
Now
line
it is
change,
your
so that
turn.
forces
How will you
Zagat
impact
out
our world? Apply
to
at
play that puck.
LSU.edu.
Logan Stumpf this time
Every 2
with speed will
seconds,
rev up the
a
Jets.
hospital patient
Leave it for
needs a
Selman. He's
life-saving
into the
blood
Flyers
transfusion.
zone. Excuse me, the Blue Demon zone.
Every 2 seconds,
Stumpf
there's an urgent
down
need
below
for
the
blood
goal
donation.
line, forced around the net
Every
by Ryan
second
Plotke.
matters.
To the point is
In an
good.
emergency, doctors may face impossible
Snapshot is
choices.
wide of the net.
Who
Rebound
gets
is
blood?
Stumpf
and
on the
who must
far
wait?
side. Turns, fires, and that
Will
one
this leading
saved.
give?
Or I should
Because
say
of you,
blocked by Ryan
life
Plotke
doesn't
out
stop.
in front of the net.
Donate
And cleared
blood.
all the way down by the Blue
Make your
Demons.
appointment today
35
at
seconds left of power play
vitalent.org.
time for the Flyers.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11
First thing
survivor.
this time we'll have a
For
go
13
at it, push him
hours,
back
I was
entry
buried
here.
under the
Stumpf
rubble of the World Trade
is
Center.
taken down by
I was
Chris Lee.
rescued
Penalty
thanks to brave people
has been
who were
called
willing
on
to
Chris
put their own
Lee.
lives on the line to save
DePaul
mine.
bench
For
not
9/11
happy
this
that
year,
Chris
a
Lee
National
was
Day of
going in
Service,
all alone on a
I'll be paying
breakaway.
it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your
DePaul's
own
getting
good
a little
deed
bit
that day.
sloppy here.
Visit
The Flyers are
911day.org
going to get an
to
extended
learn more.
chance here with 20 seconds of
Providing
5-on-3
students with the
hockey,
skills and
then they're gonna
qualities
go back
needed to
into
be
a 5-on-4
successful, the Lewis
situation.
University Radio
Once
and
again,
Television
after the 20
Broadcasting
seconds
Department
is up on DeGiulio.
Huge opportunity for the Flyers to get their first goal of the weekend. Have not been able to figure out DePaul goaltending as of yet. Won by the Flyers, and they jumped it on the faceoff. Pickens was too quick on the draw, so we're going to try again. Hernsting
and
was unsuccessful. It was stick down by Alagna, but he couldn't keep it in the zone. Flyers have to clear. Love to see the movement through the neutral zone in is Logan Stumpf. Forced behind the net by Sadowski. First penalty over. Ernsting got it, turns and shoots, and it hit the side of the net. Condi Espinoza hung up, was pressed up against the post there. Keep that one out, kept in by Stumpf on the point. Goot, centering pass, could not find Logan Pickens. Back the other way comes Nos Pelias. He's into the Flyer zone. Forced to the outside by Scotty Ernsting, who was in with his stick. And easily, Zagat is able to cover that one up.
And you can never count out Scotty Ernsting. That man is coming back on defense. If he notices that he's in need, he's got some wheels, and he's going to catch up to you if you're not quick enough.
Ernsting had one goal a couple goals last year against DePaul, had one goal down at Johnny's Ice House in their away game and had one at home. So no stranger to scoring on the Blue Demons is number 86 in white. Flyers couldn't cleanly enter the DePaul end, and it's sent back to Sam Zagat. Ulmer skates the puck in the neutral zone, turns it over, and sent back in by Martirano. He's in on the forecheck. And the Flyers are able to force a turnover, and they will start their breakout. Ricci into the Blue Demon end, sends it in behind the net, and will come off for a line change. Continued around to Ulmer on the far side half board, and he will work the puck down low. Pressured hard behind the net. This is something that is reminiscent of a lot of the games last year that I saw for the Lewis Flyers. Is the other team will come in, and if the Flyers are able to get a power play, the penalty kill is very aggressive. These other ACHA teams has a very aggressive penalty kill, and the Flyers have not been able to figure that out. A shot from the point is deflected out in front. Morefoot finds the rebound in behind and will send it up the near side boards. Stumpf couldn't stick it down. Maloney sends it back down low. Martirano has the puck on the near side corner, tried a centering pass, and it was blocked by the skate of Alex Fronte and able to be sticked out by Logan Stumpf. Horman across to Morefoot. Here's Pickens fresh off the bench. Cannot skate it into the DePaul end. And a traffic jam there did not allow Ethan Horman to get in and find that puck that was just rolling, and it rolled right on over to Condi Espinoza, and he covered it up. 11:54 left to go in the second.
It kind of looks like Horman was looking for a call there as a stick kind of tangled him up on the arms near the shoulders. And he was dragged back a little bit and had a little conversation with one of the Blue Demons players before he entered back onto the bench.
Flyers, Forante won that faceoff, and a shot by Johnson was wide. Off the rebound, Plocky lofts it out, where it's gloved down on the red line there by Nick Brass-Peninix, and he's run over. But the Blue Demons are still able to get that one into the Lewis end. Down behind the net is Nos Pelias. To the point, here's Aarons. 2 goals on the day, had a shot, and it got deflected wide. Joe Aarons on the point. Across. Walks in, shot from Sadowski is blocked out in front. Blue Demons retain it. Aarons to the middle, and the Blue Demons could not handle it. Aarons gets it back. On the blue line, across to Sadowski. He walks it in. Centering pass at the slot. And McDonald's able to come in and scoop it out. Doesn't get it very far. It's stopped by Sadowski. Right back in are the Blue Demons. Brass-Peninix will fire one as he crosses the Lewis line. And that was easily gloved down by Sam Zagat. 10:50 left to go in the second.
Flyers coming into this second period looking a little bit shaken up. They had 2 power plays to work with. And again, like you said, not used to an aggressive penalty kill, which is something they've seen throughout the entirety of this season. And that's something they're going to need to work on.
Face off won by the Flyers, sends Logan Stumpf ahead. He's got Goo with him. Stumpf into the zone. Shot is wide of the net. Stumpf found his own rebound. Side a centering pass, and it was broken up by the stick of Josh Maloney. In behind the net, Nick Brass-Peninix sends it up ahead. Here's Taylor into the zone. Shot is wide of the net. Makes some contact with Zagat on his way by. Taylor still got it as he battles in the far side corner there with Caden Peter. Peter is taken down. We got a penalty coming up. Referee at center ice has his hand in the air. We'll see who will be sitting down.
And there was a lot of physicality going in that far corner there. Caden Peter getting real tangled up. And it looks like, yep, Caden Peter will be ending up into the box. No, he was the one who ended up getting brought down to the ice. And it looks like we're going to have 2 sent to the box.
Offsetting minor penalties, Ryan Plotke and Caden Peter. I honestly can't believe they gave Peter a penalty for the Lewis Flyers. I mean, Plotke was in there really giving him the business.
Yeah, and now Jim Sawyer is asking some questions of the referees. And yeah, I can't believe Caden Peter ends up in the box here. He's getting rattled around in there like a ping pong ball. And ends up in the box here. Not sure why he was put in the box.
Either way, we're going to see some 4-on-4 hockey action. A lot of space. Maloney on the point. Sent down to Salvaghi on the near side. It's continued around the net to Taylor. Picked up by Stumpf. Flyers have the speedsters out. Fronte. And Stumpf as Fronte tried to send it in. And sent it right into the Flyers bench. Sent everyone down there scurrying around. Assistant coach Dylan Parshall. Never seen him move so fast. Speaking of Dylan Parshall, though, I feel like we haven't talked about him enough. He played 5 seasons for the Lewis Flyers. 96 total games played, just 4 games shy of 100 for assistant coach Dylan Parshall. 14 goals scored for the defenseman, 25 assists for a total of 39 points. So he brings a lot of experience behind the bench. Obviously not as much as head coach Jim Sawyer, who was named earlier this year, who brings over 30 years of coaching experience to the Flyers bench. Ernsting can't get anything going, and it will be slapped back into the zone by Logan Pickens. But we've had, I believe, every senior now on the Lewis University Hockey Podcast on, and every one of them has said the same thing. They're really happy with head coach Jim Sawyer being behind the bench. I know Dylan Parshall is well liked as well, as that centering pass finds Anthony Martirano. And Martirano will extend his team's lead to 3 goals.
And the glove of Sands again, not quite quick enough, but then this is the problem we've seen over this entire season so far. Is a lot of goals are scored within a few feet of the net. You don't give your goalie a lot of time to react, in a split-second decision. You just kind of have to hope you're in the right spot, and that was the case here, and he wasn't.
Back into the zone. In behind is Nick Brass-Penenix. He's pushed off the puck by Morefoot, allowing Ulmer to just about get it out, turns it over. Nick Brass-Penenix is sent into the boards by Morefoot. In comes Ulmer to pick up the puck. Blue Demons turn it over. Down low is Joe Aarons. He's got it on the point now. Aarons walks the middle. He's got 2 goals on the day. Looking for the hat trick. Sends it down low. Back up to the point. Sadowski sends it down low to Nos Pelias. Tried a centering pass. Deflects to Sadowski on the point. Nos Pelias was looking for it again. It was broken up by the stick of Alex Fronte. And both offsetting penalties are over. 5-on-5 hockey. Puck sat there. Another shot by Sadowski on the point. Does not make it to the net. The 3rd opportunity blocked by traffic. 4th shot is sticked away by the Flyers. Lofted into the DePaul end. Wilninski's in to get it. Flyers making a line change. Wilninski battles with Sadowski in the near side corner. Sadowski will come away with it, send it up the far side boards, where it careens over to Joe Aarons, who can't get it out. Flyers keep it in. A centering pass by Horman, didn't find anyone. With speed the other way is Nos Pelias, and he dangled at the blue line and set Nick Braspaninik's in, and he was offsides.
And that's the second time we've seen a drop pass by Ethan Horman right in front of the net, and also the second time the Flyers haven't been able to capitalize on such a pass. He's been making a really good impression, Ethan Horman has quick in this game, and he's been a difference maker on many occasions so far.
Face-off won by Wilninski, sent back into the Flyers zone. McDonald couldn't handle that pass from Robertson, and so it boomerangs back to him. Braden Robertson in his own zone will start the breakout, tries to hit Horman, who was skating across the blue line, and it went by Horman and Selman right to Chris Lee in his own zone. He will rev up the Jets and bring it through the neutral zone over the Flyer line. Lee's got it on his backhand in the near side corner, and Horman comes in and pushes him off the puck and allows Ricci to loft it out. Flyers turn it over. Chris Lee back into the zone. Centering pass is patted aside by Zagat into the near side where Salvaggi sends it up to the point. Maloney with a shot on the ice is saved by Zagat. Rebound. Bounced around out in front of the net. A.J. Kulikovsky will find it in the slot and send it in behind Zagat, taking his team up by 4 goals.
And that's another one where they're leaving a man wide open right in front of the blue paint, right in front of Zagat. Zagat doesn't have much time to react to this shot once again. And the fourth time we've seen a goal scored within a few feet of the net. And that's been a big talking point for Jim Sawyers, to try and push the offense to the outside near to the points. And that's something that the Flyers haven't been able to do much of today.
With 6.5 minutes left, Flyers running out of time. Got to get at least one before this second intermission if they have any hopes of coming back in this hockey game, as Johnson rips one on net that was wide. Comes back to him in the near side corner. Centering pass found Omer skates. Benalagna tried a shot, and it was blocked by Eli Wankel. Near side, Johnson sends it down low to Selman, who's coming off a real hot weekend. Had 2 goals last week, Jack Selman did. As it gets sent out. Through the zone is Pepper. Tried a centering pass, just went right to Benalagna, who's able to send it to Omer. Alagna couldn't find it. DeGulio was pushed off the puck by Alagna, allowing Selman to come in and get it. Backhand pass. And not very clean play by the Flyers in transition to offense. Just that pass was out of the reach of everyone and will go far enough for an icing call. 5.5 minutes left in period 2.
Flyers starting to play a little sloppy here with 5 minutes left. And that's they're going to need to, like you say, they're going to need to put something in the back of the net. They've had quite a few quality chances to score in this period, and it's just in terms of converting those shots into goals for the Flyers in this game. It's not been a story of have they had the chances or not. It's they have the chances and they need to convert.
Centering pass out to the front. Right to Ryan Plotke, who was hit in the slot. Flyers throwing the body around a little bit with 5:20 left to go in period 2. Taylor leaves it in the far side corner. Finds Plotke. Near side, Aaron's wanted the puck. Back around to Sadowski on the point, whose shot is high and wide of the net. Near side, Taylor. Centering pass, that doesn't find Ryan Plotke, who is wide open in the slot. His pass back up to the point to Sadowski, hopped right over a stick, allowing the Flyers to commence a line change. Back into the zone, Ryan Plotke has it. On the hash marks, trying to pass it up to Chris Lee, who just hopped off the bench. Had about 6 guys on the ice. That puck was in the crease, got somehow deflected up on top of the net. I don't think it made much of a difference because it was already off its moorings. And either way, we're going to see a face-off now, I believe, in the Lewis end with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to go.
And Coach Dylan Parshall not too happy with the play prior to that line change. Not sure exactly what he was yelling, but he wasn't happy with what he was seeing. And we might see some changes going into the third period.
Alagna's written into the boards that time. No boarding call going the other way as the Blue Demons get that one out. Here's Caden Peter. Up the near side boards to Stumpf, who was able to magician that over to Ernsting. He's taken down. Ernsting, no call on that as he was taken down. Centering pass to Logan Stumpf, and somehow Condi Espinoza was able to keep that one out of the net. Going back the other way, Nick Braspeninics has it in the Flyers zone. Centering pass, and that one was fanned on by Nos Pelias. Action going both ways here in period 2. Into the zone is Chris Lee. On his forehand around behind, Chris Lee has the puck. Tried a centering pass to DeGulio, but he was tangled up with Ernsting, allowing the Flyers to scan it out. Morefoot tried to bring it in. Unsuccessfully, Ernsting has a hesitate. He got it over the line, but it was ruled to be offsides. 3:26 left to go in period 2. DePaul Blue Demons up 4-0.
And I think what ends up happening on that offsides call is the Flyers are in the middle of a line change, and as Ernsting is crossing the blue line, Walninski comes down onto the ice, and that causes that play to be offsides.
That faceoff was won cleanly by Zork all the way back into his own zone. On the other side of the ice, Zork has it in the Flyers' end. He tried a centering pass. It was broken up by Fronte. Here comes Horman. Will send it in deep to the DePaul end. Sticked out by Zork, who was taken out by Ricci. Robertson to Wilninski in the Flyers' zone. Wilninski brings it and sends it around the DePaul Blue Demon net to the far side where Louis DeGulio is waiting for it. Somehow he's able to stick it up to Liam Pepper, who will bring it into the Flyers zone 3-on-2. Peterson down below the Flyers goal line as that centering pass was broken up and cleared all the way out by the Lewis Flyers. Cleared so well, in fact, it went all the way down for an icing. 2:23 left to go in period 2.
Well, those Flyers with a few quality scoring chances, especially Logan Stumpf on the 1-tee, couldn't quite get it in. An acrobatic save made by the DePaul Blue Demons goalkeeper, and not a goal scored, unfortunately, thus far. 2 minutes, 23 seconds left, and the Flyers are heating up here as the period winds down.
Won by the Blue Demons. That face-off back to Aarons on the point. He's looking to round out the hat trick here at Camlin as it's sent all the way down. And it will be another icing call against the Lewis Flyers.
And I'm not sure if that was intended to be a pass to Walninski or if that was intended to be a clear in its own right. As Walninski, that play made up the ice, made as Walninski's coming off the ice. And not sure if that was intended to be a pass or not.
Might have been trying to feed Stumpf, who had just hopped on the ice, but had Stumpf touch the puck, Wilninski was coming off. I believe it was Wilninski, and so they would have had too many men on the ice. Logan Stumpf over the DePaul Blue Demon line is forced into the corner there by Jake Sadowski. Brian Goot on the DePaul Blue Demon half wall was able to push it to Stumpf, who had a one-timer that was blocked. Near side hash mark. Stumpf comes away with it and falls down. With speed going back the other way, Ryan Plotke's into the zone. Finds its way over to Kulikovsky in the Flyer end. Back to the point. Skibby Slolinski has a shot from the point, and that one soaked up by the Flyers netminder, and he will hold on. 1:24 left to go in period 2.
Flyers coming into this, that last remaining minutes, of this period with a lot of energy and plenty of chances to score a goal. And it's just the smallest things that are catching them off guard here and keeping them from getting down in the offensive end of the ice more often.
Tie up on that face-off. Flyers can't clear it. To the point is Lee. Walks the middle, fires, and that one's saved by him again, and he will hold on. Chris Lee, talked about him a little bit earlier, captained his high school team the senior year. He went to York High School. Wore the A for the Cochrane Crunch. And the Richmond Generals had a good amount of games played with them, but the Boston Junior Rangers, Tier 3 juniors, the EHL. And Chris Lee, just as we're talking about him, will find the back of the net, extending his team's lead to 5 goals with 55 seconds left to go in period 2.
And Sam Saget's looking for a call on that play. I wasn't entirely sure what he was looking for, and I didn't have an eye on the play as it happened. But either way, we'll come back to center ice.
Face off one forward by Ernsting. It's kicked in by Brian Goot. And immediately sent back out by the Blue Demons. Stumpf tried to send it right up the middle. It was broken up by the stick of Justin Verlinski. The Flyers are forced to try again. Ernsting tries to skate it through the neutral zone. To no avail. Forced back in to their own end are the Lewis Flyers. Across the ice finds Ernsting, who couldn't handle it. And it was taken away by Josh Maloney. Into the zone is Verlinski. And he has it sticked away by Pickens. Nick Brass-Paninix was closed off by the Flyers captain Goot as he comes off for a line change. Chris Lee, one of the goal scorers, will send it around the Flyers net, and that will do it on the second frame here at Camlin.
Flyers conceding 3 more goals through this second period. They're starting to look a little bit weaker. In second period, notoriously not the Flyers' strong point at any point during this season, and was a trend that we saw last season as well. The Flyers are going to have to come back and do a lot of heavy lifting in this game in the third period.
You see them coming off the bench for the intermission, followed by head coach Jim Swoyer, who really, I'm sure, will have some words for his team in this intermission. We'll see period number 3 in about 13 minutes. You're watching Flyers hockey right here on the Lewis University Television Network. And today we are joined by another Flyer senior to continue our senior series. I think we're almost done. How many? This is the last one.
Yeah, last one.
Oh, okay. Jack Selman is here. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing, Jack?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How about you?
It's Wednesday, that's for sure.
Wow.
Well, we're excited to have you on. I feel like this has, again, been a long time coming. I remember a while ago, I don't know if you remember this, one of my first experiences with the hockey team was with Rebecca next door on the old show, on the old podcast. And that was one of the first times I was on with you, and I got to talk to you. Do you remember when we did that?
Yeah. I went on that a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. How was that experience for you? Do you remember any of that?
Yeah, it was fun. I thought it was really cool, like having a radio show and everything. It was fun.
Oh yeah, it is a fun time.
It's a good time.
Yeah, no, Matt and I.
So was that a live broadcast?
It was.
It was replayed. Is that the way they did it?
Yeah. So that was done live. I want to say it was like an hour or two. I feel like it was really long.
Yeah.
And then she would
record it and download it, and then it would get uploaded for the world to hear on YouTube. The Dump and Chase podcast. It's still out there. I went and looked earlier today to make sure that it was you that I was with.
I got a highlight on my Instagram the other day, and it was like, I think it was me and a couple other kids that went on it, and I just got like a reminder on my phone about it, so that was cool.
Oh,
that's cool.
Well, that means you're coming in with some experience to the podcast. I think you're the first experienced one, right? Or maybe there was someone else who was on the show. Maybe
I think Welly might have.
There was. It was Wells.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wellesley, and I think that Josh maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I remember
Josh.
Jake
DePago,
specifically.
maybe. Oh yeah, Jake too.
I thought he was talking about it.
Yeah, DePago might have. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So cool. Well, we're happy to have you here. And what we've been doing with all the seniors, and so I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll do it with you as well. We'd like to find out your hockey journey. I mean, I feel like each player has such a unique experience with the game, and it's been a pleasure to talk with all the seniors about how they ended up playing hockey at Lewis. So I'd love to hear kind of how you started playing hockey and kind of what led you to come play hockey at Lewis.
Yeah, so I grew up in Minnesota, so the first time I got on skates, I was like 3 or 4 years old, and it's kind of interesting. The first time I skated, I hated it. Like, I never wanted to do it again.
How old were you when this first time happened?
I can't remember exactly. I think I was around 4, and my parents like kind of like pushed me like, oh, let's try it again. And my mom was a skier when she was growing up, so she was kind of trying to push skiing on me, and my dad was trying to push hockey. And so I went out and tried it again, and I loved it ever since.
Was your dad a hockey player?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played all the way through high school, and then played like intramurals and stuff in college too. So yeah, I started just doing like skating lessons and stuff, and then got into competitive hockey probably when I was like 5 or 6, and then I played in Lakeville Hockey Association, and then once you get to a certain age in Lakeville, it splits into Lakeville North and Lakeville South because we have 2 high schools. So I was on the north side, and then I played Lakeville North hockey all the way up until my sophomore year. I played on the junior varsity team, and then I got cut my junior year, and they have a thing in Minnesota called Junior Gold, and it's for kids that don't play high school because like the high school leagues in Minnesota are super competitive. So I played that for 2 years, and then after my senior year, well, kind of during my senior year, I was kind of like looking at colleges since it's over. Like, I wasn't really looking to play in college at all. And I was like interested in aviation and air traffic control. So I was just looking at a bunch of schools that had good aviation programs, and I found Lewis. And at the time, I didn't even know there was a hockey team. And I ended up like, I looked up like Lewis hockey on YouTube, and I saw a video, and I was like, oh, they have a hockey team. Like, might as well. I mean,
what kind of video was this? Was this like a game?
It was like I think it was like a prospect skate or something from like years ago.
Oh,
and
that's weird.
So I was just watching it, and I was like, well, if they have a hockey team, like, I'll reach out. So I reached out, and they said to send in like a couple of clips of me playing. So I sent them in, and then they're like, yeah, we'd love to have you be a part of the team. So I came down here and like toured the school, looked at the rink, the locker room, and everything. And I was like, this seems like it would be a great opportunity to continue my career.
Wow. So you essentially recruited yourself, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that sometimes is how it works. What maybe some of the people don't realize that there's something special about high school hockey in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So being a Minnesotian, I've done some work with like Hermantown, for instance. I've done some skills and done some skates with those guys. But I'd love to hear your perspective on Minnesota high school hockey.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like high school hockey here and like AAA and that whole like landscape. I just feel like hockey, like high school hockey in Minnesota is like, it's kind of like a way of life. Like growing up, like from when I've been basically learning how to skate. Like you watch the kids on the high school team and you're like, I like, that's what I want to do someday. It's kind of like when you're watching like an NHL team, like you go to a game and you're like, oh, like that, I want to like play in the NHL one day. It was always growing up, it's like, I want to play high school hockey. And yeah, like I said, I mean, here I feel like people don't really get as excited about high school hockey because a lot of times like people will like go play for one program and then they'll switch to another one if they don't like it or for whatever reason. Whereas like growing up, like there were kids that would go play private schools or like stuff like that. But for the most part, it was you would play through with the same program all the way through up until high school.
So is it safe to say that the high school hockey is more of a destination than it is like here? Most kids growing up, you ask them, where do you want to play when you're in high school, that age, and sometimes they just don't know.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, they want to play for their town.
Yeah.
Well, because they don't have AAA hockey there, Ryan.
They do, but like high school hockey is like whereas here I feel like the premier hockey is like AAA. I feel like high school hockey in Minnesota is like the premier league that everyone wants to play in.
So looking at from high school hockey in Illinois, you're going to lose your best opportunity in terms of quality of players to AAA.
Right.
And so they're going to make a decision. Am I going to play AAA, be it U16, U18? Am I going to play that or am I going to play high school hockey? In Minnesota, you lose your top tier to the USHL.
No.
So
a little bit of a step up there.
You have
from high
kids,
school
correct
hockey.
me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but you have kids that are making decisions in Minnesota. Do they want to play high school hockey or do they want to play in the USHL?
We're here for the re-kickoff of the Innovation Hub, and it's nice to be able to do a refresh.
Innovation Hub is a community. It's a community of innovators, entrepreneurs, creators who have come together to change the world. The Hub's going to help students and community in several different ways. First of all, provide a physical space where we can come and they can actually rent desks and hang out and have an office. More importantly, we're going to have a series of support from a community standpoint, including speaker series, including quarterly meetups, including professional development programs, including ways to take you from 0 to 100 in no time flat with your business called growth hacking.
Tonight I am here to talk about my application and how the pitch competition and the Innovation Hub have brought me to where I am today. Being able to help out people in the community regarding shopping is one of the biggest things we could be doing to help anyone out. It is such a big part of everyone's lives, and what we want to do is make a business out of it and hopefully make people's lives easier and make new products, whatever it is, to hone in on making people's lives more efficient.
All right, welcome back to Lewis University Television Network. Logan Kapp alongside Matt Carlson for period number 3 of Flyers hockey. It's not been a great game for the Lewis Flyers thus far. They'll look to turn it around here in the third period. We've seen crazier things happen, Matt.
Yes, we have.
And so they are down 5-0 after 2 periods of hockey. The teams have retaken the ice. They'll be getting ready to go here momentarily. But Lewis Flyers, I want to say, started off really well in the first period and kind of fell off that second period. I don't know if you feel the same way about things, but that's kind of what, from my perspective, that's what I see.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, Logan. You know, something that we've seen from this team, and I keep saying it during the broadcast, is the Lewis Flyers are repeatedly losing out in the second period. They come out in the first period, they've got a fire in their belly. They come into the second period, and you question, where did it go? Because in the third period is when they come back and they've got that energy once again. And we'll see from the Lewis Flyers as they come back into this third period, if they come back with that energy. They're going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting on the ice.
Wilninski with speed into the DePaul end. Got it near side corner, tried a centering pass, and it was broken up. Chris Lee will begin the rush for his team. Lee with a slap shot from the point, hit Plotke out in front of the net, and it stung him momentarily, but he's able to regain composure and get it on the point. He tried a snapshot that time. That was blocked. Ernsting now will skate it over the Blue Demon line. Still has it, tried to split the D. Unsuccessful. That centering pass found the stick of Ryan Plotke, and he will put it in behind Thomas Labno, who's getting a look for the Lewis Flyers in period 3. Plotke has taken his team up by 6 goals.
And something, I had a conversation in the intermission between the second and third periods of this game with a couple people from the team. The Flyers have been leaving their back door open, and if you've noticed, DePaul's been aiming for that back door every single time, and that's where they've scored nearly all of their goals, if not all of their goals, in this game.
Good into the DePaul end. He has a shot that flipped up on him, and he sent it high into the glass. Back the other way comes Nos Pelias over the Flyer line. He tried a centering pass. It went right off the inside of Benalagna's left leg. Not a lot of padding in that area. Stung him momentarily. But he's able to deal with the pain as the Blue Demons bring it back the other way. Verlinski tried to send it into the Flyer zone, but it was broken up. Ulmer this time brings it into DePaul's end. Shoots, and that one was wide of the net. Condi Espinoza was there to make the save, but there's about 3 feet left of the net. Ulmer down below the DePaul goal line. Has the puck. Centering pass, find Ricci, and it will bounce around in behind. Johnson finds it in the slot, turns and fires, and it was blocked. A little bit of an offensive surge here at the beginning of period number 3. And DePaul has iced the puck.
Flyers getting caught out early in this period once again. DePaul ends up besting now their score from yesterday here in the third period, now making it 6-0. And the Flyers at this point have to look back and say, what have we been doing and what can we improve on?
Fronte, right off that draw, sent that puck through the middle of the ice. No one was there. He picks up the puck by the net. Centering pass to Sam Warner, and he finds the back of the net. Sam Warner gets his second goal of the season off a beautiful pass from Alex Fronte in behind the net.
And Sam Warner just positioned perfectly, took a play out of DePaul's playbook and just making that centering pass. That's something we've seen right in front of net from the Flyers. A couple of passes from newcomer Horman in this game weren't able to be connected, and that's the first one that the Flyers have been able to get done.
Fronte really having a good game today. Has probably been the best game that we've seen him play all season long in his short time with the Lewis Flyers is, look out, Thomas Labno came out of the net to play that puck and took a spill.
I don't think I've quite seen that one before.
Sam Werner's literally dragged down to the ice by Josh Taylor. Excuse me, not Taylor, Zork. And the referee in the Lewis end saw everything. And Nathan Zork will sit for 2 minutes with 16:56 left to go in period 3.
Not exactly sure why that call took so long to take. Clearly dragging him down, but Flyers are going their third power play of the game, giving them that man advantage.
You know, I have a complaint about hockey fans sometimes is they try to do the referee's job for them. You know, you're watching these hockey games. You're saying, oh, that's a penalty, this is a penalty, that's a penalty. I tell you what, I think everyone in the rink saw that and we're like, that's definitely a penalty. You know
I think so. And there was no complaints from DePaul's bench either. They knew it.
Ernsting into the zone has a shot, and it's blockered aside by Condi Espinoza. Rebound is cleared the length of the ice. Ernsting was all alone in the slot, cutting across, had a quality scoring chance, but he was thwarted by the DePaul netminder. Minute 17 left on the Flyers power play. Ernsting picks the puck back up, somehow gets it over the DePaul line. Ernsting leaves it for Johnson in the middle, who has a shot, and it's wide. Centering pass to Stumpf, couldn't find him, and it's sticked out by Ryan Plotke. Ben Alagna sat down on the blue line by Chris Lee, who then clears the puck down the ice. Chris Lee, 1 goal today, playing on both sides of the puck. 45 seconds left on the Flyers power play. Omer ran into an attempted body check there by Plotke, but Omer, being strong in his skates, took that hit no problem. 30 seconds left on the Flyers power play now as Omer tries to split it through about 5 members of the DePaul Blue Demons. And it's forced back into the Flyers' end. Big part of their film session, the Lewis Flyers film session earlier this week, was confident, clean play through the neutral zone with support going both ways, both on the defensive side and the offensive side of things, as that penalty has expired. We're playing 5-on-5 hockey now, another unsuccessful power play attempt for the Lewis Flyers. Talked about it a little bit earlier, though. The Lewis Flyers special teams maybe not where they want them to be on the power play. Penalty kill, not getting a lot of time this season. They are lead the league. I shouldn't say lead the league. They are in last place for penalty minutes taken. They only have 57 penalty minutes throughout the course of this season, not counting today. They are really doing a good job playing disciplined hockey. They're sit behind MSOEU's 112. Roosevelt has 181. And University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, 257. So Lewis Flyers less than half of the amount of penalty minutes of basically everyone else in their conference. And that's what you want to see. When you don't give the other team the opportunity to play the game on the power play, you're doing everything you can to help out your netminder as Labno sticks that one into the near side corner. Lee sends us to the middle. Pass somehow found Kulikovsky and was turned aside by Labno. Up the near side boards is Ethan Horman. He tried to bring it right to the middle, but it was taken off his stick by Skibby Slowinski and sent all the way down for an icing call. 13:47 left to go in the third period.
And Horman making a great decision-making play after he lost the puck is to follow up, and he made sure to go and hit his man up against the board. And that's something that we see, you know, there's a lot of disciplined hockey being played, but that's not stopping this Lewis Flyers team from being physical on the ice either.
Ethan Horman the international business major, is also on the Lewis golf team. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but in their final match, I guess, of the season, Ethan Horman finished 4th place at the Bearcat Dual Gender Tournament at Fair Oaks Country Club. That was back on October 22nd. 75, 73, and 79 were his 3 rounds of golf. I think through 9 holes, I can manage that score.
I think I'm right there with you, Logan.
Taylor's into the Flyer zone and had a shot. It hit the crossbar. Almost looked like it went in the net to me. It was waved no goal by the referee. Taylor's back into the zone. Centering pass is broken up with an excellent diving play from Ben Alagna. DePaul still has the puck in the Flyer end. Ahern tried a cross-ice pass back to Jake Sadowski. That was out of his reach. Martirano is into the Flyer zone. Takes it around behind. DePaul finishing up a line change. Was not there. We got a penalty coming up to the Lewis Flyers. Extra attacker out there for the Blue Demons. You see the referee in the far side corner there with his hand in the air. Up the far side boards, Nos Pelias. DePaul killing off some time. Ryan Plotke in his own zone will decide what he wants to do with it and try to send it across to Jake Sadowski, but it was just out of his zone, allowing the Flyers to touch up, and we'll see what the call is. Roughing is the call. Brian Goot will sit for 2 minutes with 12:13 left to go in period 3.
Brian Goot's such a physical player. You know, it almost comes as to a surprise that he's not in the box more often, but he is very clean with his hits, and more often than not, we'll see him end up in the box for clean hits that, you know, are just hard hits.
Brian Goot, in addition to playing physical, knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. Second in points in the NCHL Orange Division behind Joseph Grobarek of MSOE. 10 points on the season thus far. And he is on pace to well surpass his 14 points last year that Brian Goot had. Having an excellent season in his junior year as the Flyers captain. As Chris Lee works the puck down below the goal line in the Flyers zone. Lee has it, turns, fires, and that one's wide of the net. Careened around the glass up to the point. Here's Maloney. Centering shot is high of the net. Rebound to Lee. Minute 10 left on the power play. Maloney to Lee on the faceoff dot. Had to stop it and fire, and that one was wide of the net up off the glass. Martirano will skate the puck to the middle. Leaves it for Maloney. Stick handle. Chris Lee's got it now. Turns, fires at the top of the circle. Sat there. Big save by Labno. Kicked that left leg out. Kept the puck out of the net. Chris Lee on the point. 40 seconds left on their power play. Martirano to Plotke, who will throw one on net. That is right into the breadbasket of Tommy Labno, and he will hold on. 10:45 left to go in period 3. 32 more seconds of power play time for the DePaul Blue Demons. Face off to Labno's left wing side. Omer will win it into the far side corner. And it could not be sent out by Pickens. Brass Peniniks centering pass goes off the skate of DeGulio. Brass Peniniks, DeGulio on the hash marks. Comes back to him on the point. Nick Brass Peniniks across. Aaron's tried a shot. That was wide. Nos Pelios and Pickens tangled up in front of the Flyers net. Brass Peniniks across the middle. Here's Aarons. Turns away from a hit. Flyers finally over 5-on-5 hockey. In front of the net, Logan Pickens continues to battle away with Nos Pelios. Kept in by Aarons on the point. Walks in, slap shot! And he beat Thomas Labno clean. Joe Aarons gets the hat trick here at Canlan.
And that's just another case of the Flyers defense not able to play man-to-man in as many scenarios as I'm sure they'd want to. and is giving him all the time and space he needs to get that shot off. It's scored in a different way compared to what we've seen, where the other 6 goals DePaul has scored have all been within a couple feet of the net, and this time DePaul taking advantage of that space they've got out near the blue line and scoring.
Paul's got a lot of people who can put the puck in the back of the net. They've got 3 players in the top 20 NCHL Black in that Chris Lee, Ryan Plotke, and Taylor. Obviously, Joe Aarons doesn't have an issue putting it in the back of the net either. 3 goals on the day today. Scoring goals, not a problem for the DePaul Blue Demons. Face-off just outside the Flyers bench. 9:38 left to go in the third. Talked about it a little bit, about the Flyers' upcoming games. They'll be in UW Milwaukee next weekend. There is a college hockey tournament here next week. The Capper Hockey Classic will be here at Canlan. You want to see some of the best ACHA teams in the country. That'll be going on all weekend. Next weekend here at Canlan, both Division I and Division III. But while that's happening, UW Milwaukee will be taking on the Lewis Flyers up in Milwaukee. And they will be coming back home for a home-and-home series against Roosevelt that following weekend. And that will bring them to the Christmas break, where they have a couple games after Christmas against UW Oshkosh. Those are both away. Marquette will be at home. That'll be towards the end of January. And then they'll have a double away against Roosevelt just as we move into February. DePaul Blue Demons also have a couple of tough matchups. They've got Aurora in the home-and-home series next weekend. They'll be against Bradley at home after the Christmas break over in January. Then they've got Marion, another really strong hockey team that they will be splitting as Dan Johnson comes in and puts Pepper right on his wallet. Dan Johnson, another one who can really throw the body around for the Lewis Flyers. And we have Caden Ulmer tangled up with someone over there, Liam Pepper. And there will be another set of offsetting penalties. Roughing either way. And this is reminiscent of last year's Lewis hockey team get into situations where there's a lot of guys going into the penalty box. Liam Pepper obviously not happy. He was lit up by Dan Johnson right in front of the DePaul penalty box to the bottom right of your frame. And then obviously having some conversations with Caden Ulmer on the far side of the Lewis blue line. And we'll see some more 4-on-4 hockey action. Lewis Flyers did pretty good the first time we saw 4-on-4 action earlier, Matt. I like to have those speedsters on the ice. DeGulio sends it down low around the Flyer net, where it gets deflected up into the protective netting. But Scotty Ernsting, Logan Stumpf, Logan Pickens, and Brian Goot, the 4 on the ice for the Lewis Flyers. Really love all that extra space on the ice. Logan Stumpf can't skate through the chest of Joe Aarons. Back it goes into the Lewis end. Ernsting, minute and a half left on both penalties. To Goot in the middle of the ice. Through the neutral zone, he's in to the DePaul end. Goot, centering pass is saved. Out in front by Condi Espinoza. To the point, Logan Pickens sends it to Ernsting. Stumpf on the far side, walks in, fires, hit the side of the net. Puck careened down behind the net. Ernsting comes in, picks it up, and a big shoulder save that time by Condi Espinoza. Ernsting was looking to place that puck neatly in the top shelf, but Condi Espinoza said no. 7:29 left to go in the third, minute 07 left on both penalties.
Flyers bringing in the offense later into this game now. 7:30 left to go, like you say. And the Flyers are going to try and pick it up here, it seems, in the latter half of this period.
DePaul Blue Demons have a touchdown worth of points. 7-1 is the score. As 4-on-4 action continues here at Camlin. Kicked ahead to Maloney in his own zone. He will begin the breakout for the DePaul Blue Demons. Martirano cannot stick it around Benalagna. And it will get sent back out to Chris Lee. Rev up the Jets, bring the puck on his forehand into the Flyers zone. Lee down below the goal line, still has it as he's trying to avoid contact from Ricci. Plotke rings it all the way around the boards to Lee on the far side point. Chris Lee leaves it for Martirano. Down low, centering pass, finds Lee on the point. He walks it down low, another centering pass. Martirano's shot was blocked. An excellent block shot there for the Flyers defenseman. Ricci. Flyers in the midst of a line change are forced back into their own zone. 5 seconds left on both penalties. And we're playing 5-on-5 hockey. Aaron's trying to send it in, but fanned on it. Ricci will get it in his own zone. Has it poked away by Martirano. And Ulmer tried to send it up, but sent it right into the protective netting, causing a stoppage of play. 6:08 left to go in period 3. Flyers down 7-1. Face off to Labno's right wing side as we move towards the end of this hockey game. Flyers still have some things to work on. Sadowski sends it back down low to Morefoot, who was waiting for it on the far side in the corner. Dan Johnson working hard on the point, is able to stick that one all the way down to Condi Espinoza, who carefully plays that one aside. Big body check turns it over. Jack Selman has it in his offensive zone. Selman below the goal line. Pushed up against the boards by Justin Verlinski. DePaul now. Aarons runs into a big body check. Sadowski's into the zone. Shot blocked by Morefoot out in front. DePaul retains the rebound. Morefoot is closed off there by Brass Penenix. And DePaul will regroup in the neutral zone. Into the zone is Maloney. He rips one on net that's saved by Labno. McDonald could not control and allows Maloney to pick it back up, but it was ruled to be offside. 5 minutes on the nose left in period 3. 7-1 still the score in favor of the DePaul Blue Demons. Obviously, Flyers, in some cases, I guess, are doing better than yesterday. We're able to find the back of the net at least once. As we said way back in the open, yesterday, only the second time the Flyers were shut out all season long. And so they really came out looking to find the back of the net early in period number 1. Puck sent back in. Here's Alagna below the goal line. To McDonald on the hash marks. Splits the wickets. Here comes Ben Alagna on his backhand. Is sat down that time by Christian Peterson. Here's Alagna on the point. Walks in, shoots, and that one is tracked the whole way and gloved down by Condi Espinoza, and he will hold on. 4:13 left to go in the third.
And I think out on the point and near the DePaul bench there, Robertson looking for a shot, looking for that back door, something that, we've seen DePaul do many times in this game so far successfully, finding that back door.
Face-off won by Wildinsky, but Sam Werner quick on the draw. Jumped the gun a little bit, and so we'll try again. This time Wildinsky was not successful. Taken down was Pepper. No call, so we keep on going. DeGulio in the Flyer zone. We'll stop it on the half wall. To the point, Sadowski. Far side, here's Pepper in the middle. Shot patted aside by Labno. Rebound cleared out by Ulmer. DeGulio. To the middle, Sadowski's one-timer is wide of the net. Aarons, Sadowski on the point. Tried a shot, an excellent shot block there by Dan Johnson. Sends the puck back into the DePaul end. 3:33 left to go in the third. Pickens trying to hit Ernsting with that pass to no avail. Flyers force a turnover. Goot in over the DePaul line. Brian Goot shot saved by Condi Espinoza. Rebound centering pass could not find Logan Stumpf. Flyers still retain possession in the offensive zone. Here's Morefoot down below the goal line, working hard in the offensive zone. Couldn't quite get anything going, and that allows the Blue Demons to start their breakout. Plotke over the Flyer line, has the puck on his backhand. Plotke tried a centering pass, and it hit the skate of Logan Pickens and continues on around the net. Ernsting can't stink it past Martirano. Goes down. Pickens is tangled up with Liam Pepper behind the net. Centering pass. Wankel's shot hit the side of the net. Morefoot over the red line will dump that one in and come off for a line change as Condi Espinoza stops it behind his net. Here come the Blue Demons. Taylor leaves it for Wankel. Walks in, shot from the top of the circles is blocked by Benalagna. Another shot block for Benalagna as that one bounces over to Labno, who will hold on. Benalagna playing well in his defensive zone. Had one goal last year against DePaul at home. Benalagna did, so maybe has some good games against the Blue Demons. These couple years we've been seeing Benalagna in action. Here's Ethan Horman, excuse me. Dangles around a couple people. Horman still has the puck. Here he is over the DePaul line. Horman's got it. Tried to dangle around another one, but he was thwarted by Chris Lee. Flyers newcomer Horman got some silky mitts here at Camlin. Minute and a half left to go in the third period. Robertson rides Sadowski into the boards, and it's sent over to Wilninski. Can't get it out. Maloney down below the goal line. Maloney's got it. Centering pass could not find Skibby Slowinski out in front. Lee has a centering shot / pass that was blocked out in the slot area. Skibby Slowinski tries to scoop that one in, and it was stopped by Benalagna. Less than 1 minute left to go in regulation time. If you're the Lewis Flyers at this point, I think you just try and finish the game on a strong note and look forward to next weekend. You got a big couple games against UW Milwaukee on that road trip. 30 seconds left to go. Here's Lee working hard in the the defensive zone. Ricci back to Peter in the Flyers' end. And obviously, some improvements need to be made as the time will wind down. Ricci will kill the clock behind the net, and that will do it on the game today. DePaul Blue Demons come into Canlan and beat the Lewis Flyers 7-1. Obviously, maybe had a little bit of a better game than yesterday, Matt. The Lewis Flyers did. They found the back of the net once. What were your thoughts on the game today?
I think they started off quite strong in the first period. They looked like a team that we hadn't seen since the start of the regular season, back when we had Bradley in the house here. And then as the second period and the third period went on, the Flyers just continued to lose their grip on the game. And as we see, they end up playing, a lot of defensive hockey. They go out on the ice, and it kind of seems like, they believe that, maybe we've already lost this game, and they lose a lot of the edge they come out with. And that's something they might want to, end up looking at. But a lot of really strong hockey. They came out with a goal today at the end of the day, and that's something that they can talk about and hold their heads high about, and they'll go into this upcoming weekend, a double away stint for the Flyers, with their heads held high, knowing that they'd come into this game with some improvements.
And got some things to look forward to for next time. Lewis Flyers be on the road next week, and then we'll be back the following week on Friday night here at Canlan for the final game on the Lewis University Television Network before Christmas. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome of this hockey game. My dad, Mike Kapp, operating the camera. Thanks to him. Quinn Haywood, technical director. Thanks to him for coming. For Matt Carlson, my name is Logan Kapp. We'll catch you all on the next one.